Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, my name is Dzalika Sabrina Putri Gustaf and I am from Miss Pro 2C. So, this is my final exam presentation for the course Kosakata Dwibahasa, and today I will present an analysis of a short story titled Tentang Amira that I found on the Republika publisher. This story is full of emotion, cultural reflection, and unexpected family connection. To start the analysis, let's look at the orientation of the story. The main character in this story is Bima, an Indonesian student who studies business economics at Leiden University in the Netherlands. This story takes place in winter 2017 during the European Arts and Culture Festival in Brussels. And the settings mentioned in the story include the Bazaar Center in Brussels, a cafe at the Palace, and the last one, a hospital in Amsterdam. Now that we understand where and when the story happens, let's move on to the main conflict or complication in the plot. The conflict starts when Bima meets a girl named Amira. She is very critical about the Indonesian artists performing at the European Festival. Her harsh words sparks a heated argument with Bima, especially when they begin discussing deeper topics like colonialism and poverty. This moment sets up the main tension in the story and gives us insight into the character's strengths. Now, let's continue by exploring the sequence of events that happen throughout the story. After the panel discussion ends, Bima follows Amira and introduces himself. Amira invites him to a coffee shop at the Palace where the conversation continues. There, they discuss about art, history, and social issues, and their debate becomes even more intense. Later, they say goodbye at the train station. Amira returns to Amsterdam and Bima goes back to Leiden. But then, Bima receives a message from his mother telling him that his father, whom he has never met before, is critically ill in a hospital in Amsterdam. When Bima goes to the hospital, he is shocked to see Amira there, crying beside the same man. So, what happened next? Let's see how the story reached its resolution. So, the resolution or the turning point of this story is Bima finally visited his father at the hospital in Amsterdam after receiving a message from his mother. In the hospital room, he saw a blonde-haired girl crying beside an old man who was connected to medical equipment. That girl was Amira. At the moment, Bima realized a shocking truth. They were half-siblings who shared the same father. The story says, "She was my sister, my half-sister. She was Amira." And this moment marked a turning point in the story, shifting the focus from debates about culture and colonialism to Bima's personal journey of facing his past and reconnecting with family. Now that we have seen the emotional climax, let's move on to the reorientation to understand the deeper meaning behind the story. So, the reorientation or the deeper meaning of this story shows that behind problems like history, culture, and politics, there is something more important, which is family, identity, and understanding. At first, Bima and Amira argue about serious topics like colonialism and poverty, but when they found out they are half-siblings, the story becomes more personal. It teaches us that real conflict often comes from the past and from personal pain. In the end, their family connection is stronger than their differences. The story reminds us that forgiveness and honesty can help us heal and move forward. Now that we have looked at the deeper message of the story, and I'll give a short summary of the story as a whole. The short summary of the story is Bima is an Indonesian student studying business economics in the Netherlands. One day, he visits the Europali Arts Festival in Brussels, where he meets a girl named Amira. They have a serious conversation about Indonesian art, history, and social issues. After the event, Bima received a message from his mother saying that his father, whom he has never met before, is very sick in a hospital in Amsterdam. When Bima visits the hospital, he sees Amira crying beside the patient. And in the end, Bima finds out that Amira is his half-sister and that they share the same father. Next, I'd like to share my personal opinion about this story. In my opinion, this story is meaningful and emotional. I really like the poetic language in the original version and the strong message about colonialism. However, I feel the twist about Bima and Amira being half siblings is too sudden, and there are no earlier hints to prepare the reader. At first, I thought they were just two strangers who might slowly fall in love. But then, the twist shows that they are actually half-siblings from the same father, and that's why I was really surprised when I read the ending. Also, important social issues like stunting and poverty are mentioned but not explored in detail. Even the story gives a strong message about history, identity, and human connection. Now let's see the improvement suggestion from me for the story. The debate between Bima and Amira could be made deeper with more emotional or personal examples, and the story would also feel more natural if there were small hints that Bima and Amira are related before the twist. Lastly, a short scene where Amira reacts to seeing Bima at the hospital would make the ending stronger and more emotional. The story connects with many real-life situations, like, for example, stunting and malnutrition are still serious problems in Indonesia and other countries, and the discussions about colonialism and its effects still happen today, especially between people from different backgrounds. Many people also grow up without knowing one of their parents and try to find them later in life. And just like Bima and Amira, sometimes life gives us unexpected meetings that change how we see everything. There are 15 difficult words I found while reading this story. I won't read all of them one by one, but they are listed in the table. Instead, I want to highlight the one thing is the most difficult, the word mired. Mired means to be stuck or trapped, usually in a problem or situation. I think this word is hard because we don't use it in daily conversation, but it has a very strong meaning, especially when talking about serious social issues. Thank you for watching my presentation about the short story tentang Amira. I hope the story made you think about identity, history, and the power of human connection. Once again, I am Dzalika Sabrina Putri Gustaf, and I am from Pro 2C. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.